This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Yes, and you are a huge part of our show.
Absolutely.
In fact, without you, this would not be happening. And the guy that facilitates all of you is right here, James Alexander. Hey, James.
Hey, I want to talk to you. I got a feeling. I got a good feeling. Now, you see us on over 219 stations across the country. The American Forces Network, our streaming, social media channels, and just somewhere everywhere. If you want to find out really where we are, just go to our website, dailyflashshow.com, and click on where to watch. Find out where we are in your neck of the woods. Now, I say all that because I want you to comment on the question of the day.
Okay.
All right.
Which is what?
What's one tech habit you wish you could break?
Something that is that involves around technology. I would say just checking it all the time, feeling like I always have to check it, or the first thing I do in the morning, I do that,
Okay.
because it's there.
All right.
Your phone. So I guess
Just checking it,
I guess that right there.
Andrea.
Doom scrolling on X. I get on X
Oh.
and I go down a rabbit
is hard.
hole like you cannot believe.
and they
it's-
love when you do that.
They do, right? And then I've made a conscientious effort to make sure like I limit my time. So I give myself 5
for you.
minutes and then I have to like stop and move on and do something else. Otherwise, I could just get sucked in for at
Really?
least an
A
hour.
habit, as
Yeah.
you were talking, and I was thinking this too, relying too much on Google without thinking first.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I think what we should do is that we should think first
great.
and use that as like a to make sure you're right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like 9 times out of 10, you hear something, you're like, this is the same right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna, and then you'll go check Google or wherever to find out if it's real
So
or
it's
not.
a trusted source.
Very trusted source,
Yeah.
and I use it too much for spelling. I think too. I hate
you?
now that when I got the program where you're typing, it'll say
Grammarly?
underline, Grammarly, and that's messed me up. So I need to start. I'm going to go back and say I need to start being a better speller.
Well,
Okay.
you say Google because I think it's just the most popular. It's kind of a default for all of us, right? We go to
Right.
Google
Yeah,
to
yeah.
search for things, but there are so many other search engines. Yandex is one that will pull up everything.
Oh, really?
And because Google's very selective in what it shows you
Right,
and what
right.
it wants you to see. And then I was thinking about this the other day. Have you ever gone past the first page when you're searching Google? I have never.
That's why you pay to be at
I
the
don't
top.
think I've ever gone past like the first 5 search results.
And you said
wow.
that, you're right. They'll put very small, light colored print. Paid placement or whatever it says up at the top.
how you
of
make
it.
money
When
off
you
the
do- that's- Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. The top goes up there as well.
know-
You'd be like if you're looking for information about McDonald's, Wendy's could be the first thing that comes
That's
up.
true.
Sponsored ad, I think is what it says.
Or
So-
if you want a specific site, let's say you like a specific news site, you almost have to include that in your search in order for those stories to pop up.
put it in quotations.
Otherwise, they're very picky and choosy about what news sources they use to show you.
So I'm bad at adding game apps. I would add them to my
Game
phone. It's like
How
I'm
many-
bored.
okay, so
I
how
would
many-
add, delete, and go from
How
there.
many do you have that you still use?
5. Just
Okay,
5.
5.
5 apps or 5 game apps?
5 game apps.
5
5.
game
Yeah,
apps.
5 game apps.
I have
And,
games. on my-
Madden NFL. I do
Yeah, I
all
got
that
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
I got Red Dead Redemption because my kids got me this cool thing, right? Because Netflix now you can download games from
Yeah.
Netflix, and it's just like the video game, and that's my favorite game of all
really?
time. And so that was one of my favorite gifts my kids got me.
I will have to say, like, I try and keep up with my email. I like my email inbox to be clear, but sometimes I get so quick about doing it, I'll delete something, and then it takes me forever to find it again.
And ours sometimes somebody will send something, I don't know where, it's a purgatory. Like, like I send it to you. Are you
Has
looking
that ever happened
spam?
to you? That's the worst feeling.
Yeah, it goes to spam. We got to
Yeah.
search
Well, no,
for
but
it.
even if you go into spam, it's not
It's
in
not
there, and then you have to do a search for it, and it pops up, but it doesn't tell you what folder that is in. Like, why is it going to this folder?
Yeah.
First world problems. and,
It's like it gets caught in the email matrix
Matrix.
somewhere.
Right, there
and
you go.
Then it coughs itself up like 3 months later, and you're like, I did send that email to
I know
you, and
I
I
did.
said it. Okay, ever try a money-saving tip and realized it was a total waste of money and time?
Yes.
Come on. BuzzFeed is out with this great list of the most overrated, frugal DIY tips. So let's see if you agree with any of these or if you've been a part of any of these. I have to admit to this one: driving around to find cheaper gas. I did this when I first started driving.
And this goes to your app thing. There's an app where they'll tell you if you use it, you can get some
Gas
money.
Buddy.
Well, Gas Buddy will tell you where it's at.
Yeah.
That will tell you where it's
I'm
at.
talking about.
That is an app that will get me to drive across the county to find. And then you realize, okay, I put 10 gallons in, and it's $2 cheaper. I'm saving what, $2 or whatever,
Maybe,
if that.
depending on how far the gas station
If
is.
it's 20 cents, I guess. But
Yeah,
anyway.
convenience. It's all about
Upside.
convenience. Upside.
Upside, that's what I'm
Upside,
thinking.
is that the
Yeah.
one? How about this? Buying something just because it's on sale.
Yes, they get me every
They
time.
love it. They mark it up to mark it down.
Do you guys remember my Dr. Pepper problem?
Yes.
I was finally off Dr. Pepper. I was like, great. And Publix supermarkets go, you know what? Buy 2, get 3 free. No self-respecting American could pass that deal up. My dad would have been proud up in the sky. That's it, son, get it. And then I'm back on Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And I can't get up. It's so hard to get off that stuff. But I only bought it because it's a great deal.
They keep pulling you back in.
They keep pulling it. And you're absolutely right on that.
The one thing I do when I see something on sale, I ask myself, would I pay full price for it? And that is my good question, my gauge as far as whether I'll buy it or not.
That's a
Okay.
really good one.
Yeah. Making things from scratch. And we're not just talking about food, but like cleaning products, detergents, facial moisture, toothpaste.
Bring you over to the English residence.
Yeah,
That's
how's that
all I
going?
have to deal.
She does it?
She makes all the cleaning stuff. Like, 'cause, you know, Liza is all about everything's got to be natural.
Yeah.
Right.
So she makes her own, and she swears by vinegar.
Yeah.
There is one thing. Barkeeper's friend.
Yes.
Apparently, if you have that, it can clean anything.
It does a pretty good job. Yeah.
So that.
Really?
But
I didn't know this.
I stopped at the toothpaste. I'm like, no.
She's about to make
I can't.
Try. She did. I'm like,
It's
no.
the worst.
I don't
No.
need to. I need to buy toothpaste.
There's one natural toothpaste that I've tried, and it was the worst. So I totally feel you on that one. Coupons. Does anyone use coupons anymore?
I do know there is a pharmacy that you go to and they have a computer. I think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
If you want to find the coupons, and you have to be like a membership or whatever. You know, it's easy to sign up, and you just put it up there to the computer, and it'll give you like a list of stuff that you might have bought in the past.
Yeah.
And here's today's coupons. It's the same pharmacy that gives you that.
The giant
Yeah,
receipt.
I know what you're talking about.
Which always gives you a discount for something you've just bought.
Just buy. Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
depend on you to come back and buy that same thing like 6 months later with the coupons expired.
Yeah.
Baking bread.
I will disagree with you on this one.
Okay.
My youngest son, who loves to cook, before I moved down, he said, "Dad, can I have the bread maker?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." But you know, we make pizza, and, all
Yeah.
that, and that's what he wanted it for. However, the bread tastes good, but you can't make sandwiches out of them. Ever, right?
You're totally right.
Because they're like this
Yes.
big, first
Yeah.
off, and you're trying to cut it, and it gets all like
It's just
crumbly.
not good sandwich bread.
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay. Have you guys ever tried to fix your own car?
I have. I do all the time. Yeah.
Don't
So
you?
so my big bro is a mechanic. So one day we swapped out an engine. Well, it took us 2 days to swap out an engine. Then I know how to change my brakes. I know how to do oil changes are simple, but I know how to change out the
That's good.
That's impressive.
it's
Yeah,
a starter
no,
in the
that
car. And I know how to do all that stuff.
I can change. Well, I remember when I first got married, I had no money, and my brakes were out, and I had to learn how to take off. I'm zero, and I did it myself, and I felt so proud of myself. But I'm telling you, it took forever. I don't think I have the time now to do
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like
Yeah.
the newer cars are a lot difficult because everything is computer. You touch one thing, everything goes out, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, it could go south. All right.
that. And if you maintain your car, you don't want to have to worry about that.
Yeah, you should be
Or if
okay.
you're Jackson, you just get a brand new one.
Yeah, that's dope. It looks so nice.
Dope.
And you just hope that it stays nice and clean and good for 2 years. Growing your own food. Now, I know you guys do this in the English household.
The wife has a beautiful garden. We have a zero garden, zero front yard, meaning we don't have any grass or whatever. But she did it all up that way because really only as of late did really lawns come into existence, like
Yeah.
in England and that sort of
Yeah.
thing, like during that time. So her thing is like, why are we doing all this? And so our front yard is a complete garden. It's got 5 bays or whatever
That's
it's
dope.
called. I let
Yeah.
her deal with it, so I don't know anything.
I would
about
love to do it though. I kid you not. There's a company where you can like order like lemon trees, fruit trees, and stuff like that.
it. Hey, if
And
you
you
need
just-
some horse crap, I got
You know somebody you got to hook up.
I got a
to
girl
hook
that
up.
can give me some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good horse crap. Another thing on the list, buying in bulk. Have you guys ever bought anything in
Yes.
bulk? It's kind of a waste of money.
You got me on Costco going there, but we had talked about how Costco is cheaper than Walmart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but you are buying a lot of it.
I think it's a good thing. It goes back to the coupons with me, BJ's, because you can use coupons at BJ's, which is like Costco and Sam's Club.
Same thing, yeah.
So, and you can buy in bulk. Multiple homes.
Yeah, that is true. Last thing on the list, buying the cheapest version of something. Not always the best.
Walmart brand.
You'll wind up paying more altogether. Good stuff there. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. We got an expert coming up talking about the silent bully. And before we go to break, we always have our brain flash question.
In chess, what piece can only move diagonally?
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's brain flash question correct. Here is that question. In chess, which piece, or what piece rather, can you only move diagonally? You know what it is. It's the bishop.
Ooh, the bishop.
The bishop is the one. All right, hopefully you got that right. All right, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here, along with Andrea Jackson. We all had those negative thoughts about ourselves from time to time, but do you ever think that those thoughts actually can shape how we see ourselves and affect our own self-worth? Well, our next guest, Jackie Elliott, she's got a new book out. It's called The Silent Bully, A Journey from Abusive Brain Chatter to Self-Love. It's important that you listen to this. She joins us now with some advice on how to quiet that chatter. She's down in Mexico. She tells us she is completely fine down there as well. Hi, Jackie. Welcome to Daily Flash.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I think, as I was researching a little bit before I was talking to you, I think every person is guilty of this, and we don't even realize we do it. But we need to back up a little bit. Explain what ABC, or abusive brain chatter, is all about.
Okay, so as you said, we all have negative thoughts.
Yeah.
But abusive brain chatter is emotional abuse that we put onto ourselves. So, in other words, it's gaslighting ourselves. It's any kind of self-talk that holds us back. If we feel we're not good enough, then we're not gonna go for a better job. If we feel we're not pretty enough, we may not try to get a relationship. If we feel this is all we deserve, we may stay in toxic relationships. It's really what emotional, it's what I say is it's a negative talk on steroids.
Yeah.
And I think we've all heard other people say that, oh, I'm so stupid. I'll never get a job like that. Or God, I flubbed that. And they're going to think I'm an idiot. And, that kind of berating of yourself. I call it abusive brain chatter because it's important to understand that it is abuse. It is emotional self-bullying.
And we do it more. I find myself like I'll write something wrong, let's just say, and I go, man, I'm so stupid. I shouldn't have. I'm doing it. And we have trained ourselves to do this. This is very important stuff that we need to get out of our vernacular and B, out of our mind altogether. So you've helped us out by creating a very simple yet transformative set of tools. And since it's abusive chatter, ABC, you've got the tools how we can fix the ABCs. Let's start off with A. What does A stand for?
So A stands for awareness. And I think this is the most important. With any problem, you have to first be aware. And I think we're so used to, hearing people berate themselves and berate ourselves that we're not even aware we're doing it. Like you said, and it's not just, oh, I did something stupid. It's more of really looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, you look so ugly. You look so old. It's that kind of berating. So I always say to people, the first thing you have to do is just start writing down your thoughts. What are the negative thoughts that you have? And, for a week, if you take a little notebook and you say, oh, there, I looked in the mirror and I said I looked ugly. I wanted to go for that job, but I am too afraid because I think I'm stupid.
Sure.
Just start being aware of what you're saying to yourself. But in addition to that awareness, we have to be aware of the signs of emotional abuse. So emotional abuse is bullying, belittling, gaslighting, isolating, any kind of thing that is there to lower your self-esteem.
Jackie,
And,
I want to make sure we get through all this, ABC. So I want to kind of move on here because what you're saying is very important by all means. But our next letter is B, and that is believe. Believe, not explain belief on that one. Do I believe on that person or what?
Yeah, so believe is more of a spiritual type of thing. If you try to change I always say you can't change your brain with your own brain. You have to tap into something, a higher self, something that you can believe in. You have to first
Okay.
tap into that voice that tells you you're good enough, you're loving. You have to find a loving voice and start believing that voice.
And that I would imagine you need to do and recognize quickly after you're like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm actually a really smart person. That's at least that's what I do, and it's been helping me. Finally, you say that letter C is challenge. How do we challenge ourselves?
Well, we challenge our core beliefs.
There you
So,
go. Okay.
if you have a belief that you can't excel in your work, or that you have to be perfect, that's a core belief. And you say, where did I hear that from? Where did that come from? I don't have to be perfect. Core belief was my father said I had to work hard and that was all that mattered. So we examine our core beliefs. For example, I had a core belief I wasn't pretty. So, and that was just as a result of the way I was raised. And so for my entire life, I was looking, I always felt less than, and I was looking for relationships, that affirmed that.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, is challenging your core beliefs. I ran a marathon to prove that I could really, that I could do that. It was a triathlon. I came in last, but the point is I challenged that core belief that I was weak.
It's
And that's
important to
what
do
we
that,
have to
right?
do. It's very important to do that. And it's just as simple as, oh, gee, I'm holding myself back from writing that book. B, oh, okay, you know what? I think inside of me is a loving book, and I'd like that to share that book. I have a loving voice. And then C, where did I learn that I couldn't write a book, or who told me that? Well, my parents never supported me, or, I failed an English class. That's where I got that core belief. And so it's just those simple, it sounds simple, but it's those steps that we just remind ourselves every time we hear ourselves holding ourselves back or making a negative thought.
Yeah, we got to move forward. We're our worst critics, and everything you say. When I was a kid, my brother told me I was fat, and I look back at pictures and I wasn't, and it makes me so mad that I believed it. And I wound up growing up being really fat, having to lose all that weight. Thank you so much, Jackie, and for being on the show, and we're happy that you're safe down in Mexico as well. You at home, if you want to find out more information and get a copy of Jackie's book, The Silent Bully, just visit JackieElliottABC.com, and we'll have this link on our website.
Wondering how aesthetic treatments can help you look your best? Dermatologist Dr. Mona Gohara, in partnership with Allergan Aesthetics, is here with more. Doctor, great to have you. There's a lot of conversation online about unnatural filler results. What's your reaction to this, and what causes issues like filler migration?
So I think the most important thing to remember is exactly what you just said, Andrea. Online, you have to consider the source. I can tell you, as a board-certified dermatologist for the past 20 years, that hyaluronic acid filler treatments are safe. They create a natural result, a customizable result. And if it's done by a board-certified dermatologist or a board-certified plastic surgeon, you will be happy as a clam. So the key is to consider the source. Don't look at those overpuffed lips or those overpuffed cheeks. Just go to a provider who knows what they're doing. In terms of filler migration, sure, that can happen. It is not common at all. It isn't something that we see in our offices on a regular or daily basis. So again, I encourage you to follow the science, not the hype.
I think that's great advice, and this follows into the next question, really. What should patients expect during and after treatment, and how can they ensure they get the results they want?
That's a great question. So first, pick your provider, right? So you want to make sure that you're going to a board-certified plastic surgeon or dermatologist to get the treatment. Second, have a plan. Make sure that they know what you expect and you know what they expect. Have a plan. You want to tell your doctor that you want a natural result, right? So you get a natural result. Third, you want to pick the right product. I personally like hyaluronic acid fillers because they are great at replacing age-related volume loss. And then you want to have patience. So just remember that nothing happens overnight, but the results you get will be amazing.
That is so true, especially when it comes to beauty and this kind of thing. Shortcuts are not a good idea. questions and
No.
patience, as you mentioned, are a very good idea. Where can our viewers go to learn more or find a qualified provider?
Great question. Patients can go to naturallyyouwithha.com.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll post this interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
All right, thank you there, Andrea. Very interesting stuff there. Some trending news stories. Weight loss medications actually have moved beyond the medicine cabinet. Now they're actually in the hiring conversation. Recent surveys show that growing share of workers are either using or planning on using weight loss medications as part of their health goals. Independent reports show that employers from the tech industry to even healthcare are adapting medical benefits to reflect these new priorities. Vendors are now making GLP-1 coverage easier for employees to manage. So they're really, if you look at this, is more like a benefit that you're receiving, because so many people are going on these weight loss products, and they know, hey, if you sign on with us, your insurance is going to cover these weight loss, and that's interesting.
Isn't it fascinating that something that was intended for diabetes has turned into this, at least a U.S. phenomena, and if not a global phenomena for people who are looking to lose weight. And I still question, the legitimacy of this drug for some people who are using it for instant gratification.
And it seems there's that look, that gaunt look that they have as well, right?
Have you seen Kelly Osbourne?
That's funny you said that. That's who I was thinking about when I said that.
My goodness.
Unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable.
But, and they'll say it, and I've lost a lot of weight. Everybody knows that. And I was just talking about this on the radio about, so he goes, I don't even remember you like that.
Yeah.
But because I look so different. He says, I didn't even know that was you. We were talking about pictures or whatever. And it goes, we see it, the people that have to lose the weight, and we see the struggles. And so it's hard for a lot of people that maybe are healthy and they do the right things, like exercise and do that. But once you get to a point, it's really hard to lose that weight. I can see how it would help keep and retain employees.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're like, I don't want to quit because I have great benefits.
Right.
Including this. So.
And that's a huge draw, I think, for people. Well, a new singles scene is unfolding in medieval times, believe it or not.
Really?
It's Dinner with the Jousting Tournament. Now these helmet-clad knights have become the hottest new alternative to Hinge, believe it or not. Between sword fights and royal decrees, flirty knights are locking eyes with female customers. They even toss roses into the crowd and crown one lucky spectator the queen of the tournament. Dating experts say it's giving modern romance a medieval makeover. With 10 castle locations across the U.S. and Canada, fans are hopping aboard the Chivalry Express, proving this isn't a one castle crush.
And if the date doesn't work out, you can say, well, I met a nice wench there. Right? And it's okay. You can say that because...
Not my knight in shining armor.
Lots of puns you can be able to use there. We want you to come back and have some more fun with us. We got more of today's talk, tomorrow's trends still to come right here on Daily Flash.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference. With Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, this guy right here, he's check-in with our stations across the nation.
Hey, Bubba.
Hey, we're seeing it over 219 stations across this great country of ours, from streaming to all our social channels to our website, dailyflashshow.com, where you can go on and send me a message or just leave a voicemail and just sound off. But, we also on the American Forces Network. Don't want to forget them. Our local friends today come from WMNF CNN TV in Traverse City, Michigan.
That's your kind of near the stomping grounds.
Yeah, that's
what do you know about Traverse City?
That's up there. That's up there.
It's way up there. Show me on the hand where it's at.
It up there.
Way up there.
Up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Youpers. I definitely want to say we got an email about saying Michiganders.
I said it wrong. For the record, I'm the one that said it wrong, not the guy from Michigan.
Right. So so Traverse City is the largest producer of tart cherries in the United States.
cherries.
They have a national cherry festival. Thousands of people attend, and yes, there's nothing like a Michigan cherry.
500,000 people.
I've popped a
each
few cherries
July.
in Michigan.
Oh, James.
What are you I'm just saying about the fruit. What? Oh my God.
Hey, the showers in the locker room are right back here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you there, Jamie.
James.
Well, here's the thing. We haven't been in HR for a while. So
We haven't. So
James and I
we're
need to
due.
go. I thought
I'm still talking
join
about
you.
fruit.
Exactly.
I know you are.
The boss is watching. It's fruits.
500,000 in July.
You know
That's
what's sad
incredible.
about that? In my mind, I was trying to cultivate a
Cultivate.
very close to what you were saying.
I like that you're keeping it in the gardening, farming realm. That's very
yeah,
nice.
that's what I did.
Very nice, very nice. James, thank you.
We have got. Listen, y'all. Let's stop the influencers.
Stop.
Am I right?
Yes.
I say
Over
stop
it.
the influencers. They've gone too far. One influencer now under fire. I'm not going to give her name.
Don't.
And I'm not. I was even thinking I want to put the video of her.
Don't.
up there. Don't, because first off, if you really want to know, you'll find it.
Yeah.
But this chick gets on and she goes, "Hey, one of my flight." First off, she pawns it off that this is where she heard it from. She says, "One of my flight attendant friends told me that and how many times has this happened to you, by the way? Let's say you're traveling and you didn't bring enough underwear with you. Well, here's an easy way to clean it." When you're in the hotel room, just go to your coffee maker. Now, it has to be one of those old coffee makers where you have a little jar,
Yeah.
not a Keurig.
With the filter, right?
Not a
Not the
Keurig.
Keurig.
yeah,
right,
it
with
has
the
to
filter.
have the old school filter.
And so she shows you, and you put the underwear inside of the coffee maker, and you plug it on. Yeah, there you go. First off, you women overpack. It seems I overpack as well. That's one thing, but that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest issue is I don't ever want to know anybody's ever doing. I don't want to know if anybody is ever doing this because of the fact that people are just going after this lady. Like, why would you do that? Well, then she gets on and says,
Right.
well, I didn't really do it. I was just telling you could do this. You just told everybody you can do it. And now I have to worry if I see one of those coffee mugs in a hotel room, if somebody has done it. And because my thought was never there. Yes, I look at an iron to see if somebody made grilled cheese sandwiches with it.
I have never done that. I didn't even think of that.
That's a college thing.
Grilled cheese. Okay.
Try it sometime.
Grilled cheese. I could see that
Well,
in the
you
press.
can see like
yeah.
So anyway, now there's a rumor out,
I can't.
the fake news, I guess you could say, out saying that she's being sued by the hotel.
I would.
If she showed it 100%, but I can't find any substantial proof.
How are you going to tell
that's the
somebody you can do this if you haven't did it yourself?
That's a good point.
So she's lying. She's
Totally lying.
lying. And you got her on tape doing it. So
Yeah, and
it's an easy case.
Yeah, and my problem is, I think that whether she did or didn't do it, the fact that she's talking about it and claiming either she did it or she knows someone who did it, she's doing it for likes and clicks.
100%.
And money and followers. That's
and
it.
that is what they do, and you can say I'm jealous because they have more followers than I do. You can do whatever.
It's
but
disgusting.
but this is the problem that they have. All right, we want to know what you think. FlashADailyFlashShow.com. My girlfriend's coming up. Guess who she is?
Morgan Fairchild.
The scene with Doreen, she's talking to Morgan Fairchild. She's looking great too.
Yes.
Also, we'll let you know who is the highest paid actor right now in Hollywood. It'll probably surprise you who it is.
Wow.
You're watching Daily Flash. Time now for The Scene with Doreen.
Today on The Scene with Doreen, I get to sit down with one of Hollywood's most well-known and beloved actresses, Morgan Fairchild. For over 5 decades, she has redefined Hollywood stereotypes, and she has proven that she's not just a pretty face. She's back on CBS Daytime, and she has a brand new podcast. I can't wait to dig in. Check it out.
Hey, I have a little riddle for you.
All right.
What has multiple orgasms and hums?
I give up.
Born and raised young girl, Dallas, Texas. It is so hard to believe that you were shy and introverted.
Oh, very shy and introverted. Incapacitatingly, probably. My mom decided that my sister and I should have acting classes to bring me out. My sister would be all excited and I would be throwing up in the bathroom. One Saturday morning, my mother was reading the paper and she called us into the bedroom and said, "The Junior Players Guild is having auditions today." And my sister says, "I want to audition." And, then I knew if I didn't go audition, I'd get yelled at all the way home. So I always say I have a career today because my fear of the stage was second only to my fear of my mother.
Jenna, surely you know. Is Bobby the father? I never said he was. Is he?
So you moved to New York to pursue your dream. You're sitting in the Eileen Ford modeling agency and poof, a soap star is born?
I'm sitting there waiting to talk to Eileen Ford and my little portfolio on my lap. And this lovely gentleman walks by and he says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm Morgan Fairchild. I'm waiting to see Miss Ford." And he said, "Well, I'm Jean Barraquette. Come in my office and talk to me." He said, "Okay, here's another field we're trying to break into. It's these soap operas." So I go over and I audition and they don't hire me. But like 3 days later, they call back and say, "We really liked her. We have somebody that's only been on the show 6 weeks and it's not working out. And so we want Morgan to come in and do that."
By the way, isn't Morgan Fairchild in your movie?
Yeah, she sure is. You know her?
Know her. I'm married to her.
You became such a pop culture icon that even John Lovitz pretended to be married to you on Saturday Night Live.
I didn't usually stay up to watch Saturday Night Live. I was asleep. The glamorous life of a TV star. If I stayed up late and tried to watch it, he didn't do it. So finally then, everybody goes on hiatus for the summer. They come back in the fall. He's still doing it. So I thought, okay, I got to get this guy. So I called up his agent and I got his home phone number. So I called him and I said, "Hi, John, it's Morgan Fairchild." And he said, "God, you sound like Morgan Fairchild." I said, "Because it is, John. It's Morgan Fairchild." He said, "Oh, God, are you mad?" And I said, "No, I'm not mad at all." So we got to be friends on the phone. We got to be friends. And he called up one time. He said, "Oh, I got to tell you, but I hope you don't be mad." I said, "John, what?" He says, "Well, I was doing stand-up this weekend, and I said I slept with you." And I said, "John, it's okay. I don't think they believed you."
And this is our new podcast, Two Bitches from Texas.
You recently launched your podcast, Two Bitches from Texas. You get to do this with your sister, and I get to say bitches. I'm happy. Thank you.
You're trying to come up with a name, and everything is either too bland or too cutesy or too something. And finally, I just said, guys, it's just two bitches from Texas sitting around talking about how to save the world.
And now you're back on The Bold and the Beautiful.
We did one day, Jim J. Bullock and I are kind of a team on it. Brad Bell was so sweet, and he came down and said, "Would you guys do more?" We shot another couple of episodes that haven't aired yet. I mean, that's always the most important thing in this industry is you got to make a living and you got to have fun.
Visit morganfairchild.com. Tune into The Bold and the Beautiful on CBS and Paramount Plus. Check out her new podcast, Two Bitches from Texas, and just stay connected to everything that is the amazingly wonderful Morgan Fairchild. And if you want to hear more of our incredible conversation, visit here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Well, professional golfer Max Homa, he's teeing off to share his personal journey with dermatitis. Dr. Tina Butani also joins us. Max and Dr. Butani, thank you for joining us. First, let me start with you, Max. Really, tell us more about this 20-year struggle that you've had.
Yeah, in high school, I thought I had dandruff, had never heard of seborrheic dermatitis or sebderm. Finally, after 20 or so years, my wife nudged me to go talk to a specialist. When I did, I found out that's what I had. They prescribed me with Zoryve foam. I just basically wasted away 20 years of trying to figure it out myself.
And it does a lot to you, just like, wow, look at all this stuff. So I can imagine that. How were you able to work with your doctors to find a treatment option that works for you?
Yeah, they took me over. I had some dandruff, but I also had a lot of redness around my face, especially my nose and in my beard and mustache. So they said pretty quickly that it was sebderm. Like I said, I'd never heard of it, but learning about it made total sense.
And you got great doctors like Dr. Butani. What are some of the signs and symptoms, doctor, of this?
Yeah, so seborrheic dermatitis or sebderm presents with red flaky plaques, most commonly on the scalp, but like in Max's case, it can also be in visible areas like the face or the trunk. It affects 10 million Americans, so it's not an uncommon disease, and that's why Max and I are excited to be here, partnering with Arcutis on the Free to Be Me campaign to raise awareness about this disease. Doctor,
folks out there, even I deal with dermatitis as well, but where can folks go if they want to find out more information about this?
Yeah, so Zoryve 0.3% foam. It's a once daily steroid-free foam approved for patients 9 years and older living with seborrheic dermatitis. The most common side effects are nausea, headache, and the common cold. For more information, people can go to Zoryve, that's ZORYVE.com.
Sounds great. We'll have a link on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI. Thank you both.
Mitch, thank you. Well, Neo explains the hard work behind his relationship with not one, not two, but three women. The 46-year-old singer appeared on The Sherry Show and revealed that he chose to pursue a different situationship after an ugly divorce. The R&B artist recalled approaching his girlfriend last spring about his desire to date other women and make them all part of one relationship. The singer-songwriter prefers his trio of girlfriends not date other men.
So
but it's okay for him
to do
to have three women, but the women can't date other men. Okay.
To me, why would you want that many headaches? And, and then remembering things. Just the other day, the common joke, maybe you've done this, was like, hey, didn't we see this movie, yada, yada? Like, that was with another girlfriend or whatever. You know you're running into that when you're dating three women at the same time. But apparently, and I'm of the belief, look, if that's what works for you, I can't see how it is. And it'd be confusing to kids, I would imagine, as well, if you had children with any of them.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the case or not.
If it works for the women, James.
I knew you were going to say something. I was like, I wish James was here.
James?
I got to agree with Mitch. It is a headache.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
No doubt about that.
It's a lot of fun.
No doubt about that.
I can see that. But how do you keep the names straight?
That's what I would. Yeah. The hardest part would be keeping names together.
And birthdays and dates straight.
Girl number one, girl number two, girl number three.
Door number one. You said door, right? I want to make sure you said
girl.
Oh, girl.
Girl number one.
You're trying to get me in trouble with HR.
And you just call all of them hun or babe or dear.
It's easier.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you
go.
go.
If that's your thing, all right, that's your thing. And
I suppose so.
If it brings everybody happiness, then God bless.
I guess so. All right. Well, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes are reportedly sending wedding invites to their exes, believe it or not. 3 years after their scandalous romance led to their firing from GMA3, the duo are including their exes on the guest list. The future bride and groom don't expect them to show, but wanted to extend an invite anyway. Their relationship was exposed back in November of 2022 following their suspension from ABC. Insiders say the relationship was in violation of the morality clause in their network contracts. The two were married to other spouses at the time of their firing and affair. They have since divorced, clearing the slate for the duo to marry. To this day, Robach and Holmes insist they were not cheating while they were married. And did I hear a rumor that their ex-spouses are dating?
That's what I had heard, yes. I think Hugo was mentioning that to us. Yeah, that they were dating, which is like a total sitcom if you think about that. And the GMA3, that's a Subaru, right? That's one of the GMA3.
That was a mid-morning show no one watched on ABC.
Okay. All right, yeah. Not sure about that. We are talking about affairs. Some salacious stuff about Bill Gates.
Yes, it just dropped on the New York Post that Bill Gates admits to having an affair, not one, but two affairs, at least two affairs with Russian women in connection with Jeffrey Epstein.
And let me tell you, taking this, everybody wants to know what's on the files and everything. I think maybe he's doing damage control now, which,
probably.
Hey, admit to it, don't lie about it. And that's the only thing I can say that's about good out of this is that he's taking responsibility.
The problem with too much money and too much power is that you have access to everything, and sometimes I think that clouds your judgment and you make some poor choices. And obviously he was married and had kids, I believe, at the time that he had these affairs, at least married. So I think those were some poor choices on his
And
point.
you know, when you are a billionaire and your spouse and you get a divorce gets half, and you have half of the hundreds of billions, that's still a lot of
still
money.
a lot of money.
It's all about pride after
Yeah.
that point, I guess.
Well, it's a guilty pleasure many can't get enough of, and a new franchise is set to premiere. Bravo has released the full trailer for The Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Oh, I can't wait.
The tagline for the show reads, "In a place where everyone knows everyone and family names carry serious weight, nothing is ever truly forgotten." Friendships built over decades, loyalties deeply rooted, and secrets guarded at all costs until betrayal strikes and the cracks begin to show. Real Housewives of Rhode Island is set to premiere on April 2nd.
Please forgive me, Rhode Islanders. The only thing I really kind of knew as far as the media goes in Rhode Island is that Family Guy, Quahog is based out of Rhode Island, which I think is very comparable because a lot of times these housewives are cartoonish altogether, right?
Yeah, they can be.
I think
for
this is
sure.
going to be, it's just more a cast of the same thing, I would imagine,
Yeah.
right?
If you ever go to Rhode Island, do the mansion tour. All these beautiful mansions from the turn of the century that were built by the Rockefellers and those Astor families, and you can take a tour. They're all part of the National Park Registry, and it's pretty amazing.
I love that. Hey, we talked about it. The highest paid actor altogether, Zoe
Saldana.
Saldana, thank you for saying
Yes.
that. Congratulations to her here. Of course, we know her, of course, from the Avatar, Fire and Ash, and all the other great movies as well. So, congratulations to a female taking the highest grossing
good for
actor
her.
of all time.
And of course, she's got great endorsement deals, and this movie put her right over the top.
100%.
Yep.
Love her. We got more Flash coming up. Stick around.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We always want to leave you on a high note,
Absolutely.
so that's why we want to tell you something good.
This is going to make you feel really good. We go to Belton, Texas, and what started as a simple visit between high school volleyball players and a local senior living community actually turned into an unlikely and actually heartwarming friendship, all thanks to a game called Chair Volleyball.
Chair volleyball. Okay, the residents at Woodland Cottages call themselves the Hit Squad, and they face off with the Lake Belton High School team in friendly matches that are less about winning and more about laughing, connecting, and just moving together. The rules are simple. Everyone stays seated, the ball goes over the net, and the competition gets fierce. But the real magic happens after the serve, when stories are shared and generations learn from each other.
Really cool. The friendship has actually gone beyond the court. Seniors even surprised the students by showing up to cheer for them at a school game. So they kind of did the other way around. That's really cool, proving that it just isn't an activity, it's a bond. Staff say that the partnership has boosted spirits, created some purpose, actually brought a new kind of energy to both the students and the residents.
After all, it's a little reminder that connection does not have an age limit. It is indeed ageless, and sometimes all it takes is a ball, a net, and a little heart, and that is something good.
I agree with that. And, sitting there thinking, this could be a new sport. If they have a sport where two people are going to run into each other, chair volleyball, actually, I think we could even play it here in the show.
Yes.
It'd be actually kind of fun.
Exactly.
Even I could start seeing, how they have the retreats for companies, like, maybe
Yes.
like that could be an exercise of bonding.
The
if that's what-
competition, yeah.
Right?
I think so too. And it's so important too, especially for our senior community, that they have something to look forward to
there
every
you go.
day and something to keep them active and engaged. And this keeps them active, it keeps them engaged, and it also keeps them connected to a generation.
Really cool. Now, if you want more information about everything we talked about here on the show, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Bye-bye, y'all.
Look at everybody.